Well, that hurt like a motherfucker.
You are Locked On Gators, your daily podcast on the Florida Gators. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Locked On Gators, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thanks for making Locked On Gators your first listen of the day. We are available daily and free wherever you listen to podcasts. Happy Tuesday. I'm Brandon Olson. You can find me on Twitter at WNS_Brandon. Find my written work with Whole Nine Sports and GiantsCountryVSI.com. Before getting into today's content, just ask you to like, subscribe, comment, leave a review, whatever it is. Help me make the show better for you and for everybody else. It's already the best daily Gator show, and in my opinion, the best Gator show, but let's make it better. We're talking Florida Gators baseball today, and to say that the Florida Gators baseball team had a bit of a wild weekend would be a massive understatement. Before even getting into it, I will say that Gassetti had an insane, phenomenal weekend behind the plate. Just so great. Like it was dope, just everything that he could do, and at the plate as well, but primarily as the catcher. Just an awesome weekend for him. Not sure what the future holds because it's baseball, but I mean, he's got potential. Like, I'm not a big baseball person in terms of evaluating players, but like I watch him and I'm like, okay, like he can make it happen. But getting back to the team play, on Friday, in their first game for the Gainesville Regional, because of course Florida being the number 13 seed, they hosted the Gainesville Regional tournament, and the Gators took on the Central Michigan Chippewas, who were like, whatever, as a school. Sorry, I went to a MAC school. I gotta hate on them. But the Florida Gators took on the Central Michigan Chippewas, and they won that one pretty handedly. The final score was 7-3. They won that one pretty handedly to start the Gainesville Regional 1-0, which is great. If you don't know the regional round, it is a double elimination round. So, I mean, let's say, all right, for example, Florida lost their Saturday game, so then they had to win out. And if they lost another game, they're done. That's how that works. So, yeah, Florida on Saturday lost their Saturday game because the Gators took on the I want to say Red Hot, but I feel like Red Hot is not. Like, they took on, like, the Franks Red Hot. They took on the Franks Red Hot Oklahoma Sooners, and Oklahoma stayed hot in that game. Brandon Neely got the start, and wow. Oklahoma took him for a bit of a ride on Saturday, and the Gators just never bounced back from it. Oklahoma did win the game with a final score of 9-4. And then on Sunday, things got a little very interesting because, like I just mentioned, double elimination round. So the Gators lost on Saturday. That means they had to win out, which ideally Gainesville Regional ends on Sunday night, but could go to Monday if it has to. In this case for the Florida Gators, it was ideally it ends on Monday because that means that the Gators won both games on Sunday. So yeah, sorry, spoiler alert if you don't know what happened yet. The Gators won both games on Sunday. On Sunday, the Gators had a rematch against the Central Michigan Chippewas. That one, by the way, Liberty was also in the Gainesville Regional, but they did not make it to Sunday. Lost to Oklahoma and Central Michigan. Means that they did not make it to Sunday. Again, double elimination, so they never got to play Florida. But on Sunday, during the day game, Florida took on the Central Michigan Chippewas in a rematch. And that one looked like it was going to be, okay, Florida's got this one in the bag. It's an easy W for them. Because Florida went up 5-0 fairly early in the game, and things were looking up for Florida. And then the 5th and the 6th innings happened. And, the Gators took 3 pitchers. I'm going to make this very clear. The Gators took 3 pitchers to get through 1 inning. And that was, to say the least, really disappointing. Yeah, that was it was bad. The fifth and sixth innings again, Gators. Blake Purnell, Philip Abner, and Tyler Nesbitt could not get it done, but ultimately, the Gators walked away with that win. They went out on 6-5. Ty Evans, which love you, Ty. He had a sac fly to drive in Wyatt Langford for the game-winning run. It wasn't a walk-off because they were away for that game, but ninth inning run. So they did that. And then on Sunday, it was... Wow. It was another interesting one, to say the least. Timmy Manning got the start against the Oklahoma Sooners. Again, this was win or go home only for the Gators. The Oklahoma Sooners had not lost yet, so this was win or go home only for the Gators. And Timmy Manning got the start on Sunday night. He did not make it out of the first inning. And I realize that sounds way worse than it really is because he walked two batters, hit a batter, and he did not get a single out. But he only faced the three batters. That was it. He threw 11 pitches, and then Karsten Finvold came in, and wow. Like that, it was sensational. Karsten Finvold came in, threw 9 innings. He threw 9 innings, 5 hits allowed, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts. He threw 116 pitches. 116 pitches, and Florida beat Oklahoma 7-2 to force the game yesterday, and then yesterday happened. But first, a quick word from BetOnline because, Super Regionals are here, which we'll talk about that in a second, but Super Regionals are here. NHL playoffs are here. MLB season is deep in the swing. NBA Finals are here. It's knotted up at 1-1, and there is a lot of money to be made, not just betting on the sports. You could have bet on the French Open, too. That's done now. Not just betting on sports, but you could bet on reality TV, award shows. I know the MTV Awards just happened like last night or Sunday night. Sorry, I'm not super hip with it. There's that. You could bet on politics. You could bet on finance. You could bet on pretty much anything. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn all about the trends and action. Check out BetOnline. It's where the game starts. We do have an important favor to ask you. We've put together a survey so that we can learn more about listeners like you and make your favorite Locked On podcast like this one even better. This is your opportunity to tell us what you like and what you don't like about Locked On Podcast. Go to lockedonpodcast.com/survey right now to get started. It won't take very long. And everyone that completes the survey can qualify for a chance to win one of 10 $100 Ticketmaster gift cards. To take our audience survey, go to lockedonpodcast.com/survey. Thank you so much for your help. Now we're talking about Florida Gators baseball again because, like I said, yesterday happened, and then we were going to talk about yesterday. The Florida Gators took on the Oklahoma Sooners in the last game of the Gainesville Regional, with the winner of the Gainesville Regional taking on the Virginia Tech Hokies starting this coming Friday, in the Super Regional, which, like I just said during the BetOnline ad read, like college baseball has just the absolute most absurd regional than super regional round names. Like just call it anything else, Like college basketball is like Sweet 16, super dramatic, but then before that they have round of 64, round of 32. That's better than regional, super regional. It's just silly. But sorry, I just had to go on that little rant there. But Florida opened the scoring against the Oklahoma Sooners with a bomb to right field on a first pitch swing by Caglianone. It was beautiful, and it was one of those home runs where the second it hit the bat, you knew it was gone. Like the right fielder was looking, and then he was just like, "Oh, well, that's That's a goner. And it's a beautiful thing to see a home run like that. Then it was quiet for both sides. It was quiet until the fifth inning. Oklahoma's Pettis hit a home run of his own to left field and knotted it up, obviously. And then in the bottom of the fifth, BT Riopel, who's playing first base because Gassetti was behind home plate. So BT Riopel was playing first base. He drove in Kobe Halter on what was, it was listed as a throwing error by Oklahoma's right fielder, Spikerman, who we will get to in a second. But, it was listed as a throwing error. If I'm not mistaken, it was a bad throw. But, unless it's, who's Bryce Harper out there in right field throwing that, didn't matter. Didn't matter about the throw. But, yes, so like I just mentioned, Spikerman, I said we're about to talk to him. But, first, after that, there was a 5.5 hour rain delay, which was miserable because before, at the time of the rain delay, it didn't look like it was bad enough to start a delay. And then it started, and I was like, okay, it's probably going to last, half an hour to an hour. Wow, was I wrong, because it just kept going up. It's supposed to rain till 9:45. It's supposed to rain till 9:15. It's supposed to rain till this time, that time, that time. And then eventually at 8:15, we got a notification that was like, hey, 8:45, game time. So thankfully, the game did come back. And again, also, I get it. Florida was winning at this point. It was 2-1. This was not one of those situations where it's like, well, if it's bad enough, maybe they'll just give us the win. This was a game where it was, we are coming back to this game at some point, and we are going to determine a winner of this game. And I don't know if you've ever played sports or if you've watched a ton of sports. You probably have if you're listening to this or watching this on YouTube. But when there is a rain delay or a power outage like the Super Bowl, whatever year that was with the Ravens and the 49ers, when there is a big just time killer like that, it tends to really shift the momentum. It seems like in favor of whoever's not gaining or not benefiting from the momentum right there. Just because, of course, when you're riding the hot hand and then the hot hand dies real quick, it's kind of tough to get back into it. And when you're on the losing side of that momentum battle, and then you get a breather, you get to regain yourself, you get to recompose yourself and kind of get back into shape, that's a big benefit for you. So going into this game, or going into the second half of this game, I guess, coming back from the rain delay, I was like, okay, I'm a bit worried about the momentum shift, the possible momentum shift in this game. And then Florida started the remainder of their game, or at least when they got up again, because they needed one out. Florida started the remainder of their game on the right note with Ty Evans, who I mentioned in last segment. Ty Evans drove in Kobe Halter, which is an exact phrase that we heard last segment. So Ty Evans drove in Kobe Halter. Then Oklahoma kind of got going a little bit. Spikerman, who I just mentioned, the Oklahoma's right fielder, who kind of hate you. But Spikerman scored when Peyton Graham hit a 2-run shot to tie the game to left field, right into the Oklahoma bullpen. And it was cool because college baseball is one of those sports where it's very entertaining and the players have character. And so the ball went into the Oklahoma bullpen, and the Oklahoma relief pitchers were like, woo, just going nuts and making faces and going crazy. And it was entertaining, to say the least. Broke my heart, but it was entertaining. And then Oklahoma scored 2 more runs to make it 5-3. And then in the bottom of the ninth, Wyatt Langford, one of the most electrifying men in college baseball. Just forget it. Wyatt Langford, the most electrifying man in college baseball, hit a shot to right center field to cut the lead to 1 for the Sooners. Again, this is bottom of the ninth. And we were getting so pumped up at that point. Because, again, bottom of the ninth, Wyatt Langford hit a home run. The heart of the lineup's up. You got a chance. Then they didn't. Oklahoma won that game 5-4. That does, in fact, mark the end of the season for Kevin O'Sullivan and the Florida Gators. Pretty strong season. We'll do a season review coming up, but yeah, it kind of really sucked for the Florida Gators to see the season end that way. I think that, you know, most of us even coming into the season, we were like, this is a College World Series team. And then, you know, started off, I think it was 13-3 if I'm not mistaken. Hunter Barco got hurt, and then momentum started shifting positively for Florida again. And then it didn't. Then the rest of the season happened, and you know, we were still thinking, like, you know, Florida's getting hot, Florida's looking up, Florida's at least super regional team, and then Gainesville Regional is where it capped out. But we're about to switch to softball, who did make it to the Women's College World Series. But first, a quick word from Built Bar, because it is summertime. It is now, we're approaching the second week of June, but it's not too late because a lot of vacations are in July and in August. So, you know, you got plenty of time still to get in shape, but not too much time. You might want to add Built Bar to your diet plan. Going to really help you get in shape. It is sweet, which is big for me because hardcore sweet tooth, like, very bad. But coated in 100% chocolate, so they hit the sweetness there. Most bars have 130 calories, so if you're a calorie counter, you got that one. Just 4 net carbs, which is the most important thing to me, and 17 grams of protein. So even if you're not thinking, you know, I got to trim down for summer, if you're trying to bulk up, Built Bar's got 17 grams of protein. Like, that ain't a little bit for a little bar. So I'll let you know, like, Built Bar, it's major key, secret to life. I'll let you know that right now. And you don't have to feel bad because it's so healthy. So you don't got to feel guilty as if you're eating some kind of candy bar or chocolate bar. No, you get a protein bar that tastes delicious, tastes sweet, and has all the benefits. Built Bar is also always coming out with new limited time flavors, so you'll never get bored. Use promo code LOCKED15 to get 15% off of your next order with Built or BuiltBar.com. To wrap up today's show, we are talking about the Florida Gators softball team, which is awesome because I just spent 2 segments talking about the Florida Gators baseball team this past weekend, and then now I'm going to talk about the softball team's weekend. This season is over for both Gators teams, which is, you know, not how I was looking forward to having this episode, but that is what it is. Of course, the Florida Gators softball team beat Virginia Tech in the Super Regional, which is ironic because Florida, if they beat Oklahoma yesterday, would have played Virginia Tech in the baseball Super Regional. So there's that. And then in the Women's College World Series, the Florida Gators softball team beat Oregon State in their first game 7-1, and we were like, okay, like, these ladies came to play. Like 7-1 in the first game is okay. Like, they were here. After that, though, it was pretty much exclusively downhill for the Florida Gators softball team. Saturday, the Gators lost 2-0 to Oklahoma State, so not a great weekend for Florida sports against Oklahoma sports. This is really fun to talk about. But yeah, so Florida lost to Oklahoma State 2-0. And Florida, I mean, in that game, Florida only had 3 hits in general. Like, it was not a close game whatsoever. Then on Sunday, in a win-or-go-home game for the Florida Gators softball team, so Florida baseball played a win-or-go-home, played 2 win-or-go-home games on Sunday. Florida Gators softball played 1 win-or-go-home game on Sunday, and they did not win, so they did go home. The Florida Gators lost to UCLA 8-0. And that's it. If I'm not mistaken, yesterday, Oklahoma, was it? Just beat down UCLA softball. I think it was like 15-0, and it was mercy ruled after the 5th. So that means that the Florida Gators softball team finished the year with a 49-19 record. They were 13-11 in Southeastern Conference play. and they were 1 win shy of getting their first 50-win season since 2018. Tim Walton, I mean, this was a great year for Florida Gators. Stickball is what I usually call it when I'm talking about baseball and softball combined. So this was a great year for Florida Gators stickball. You know, it's weird because it's like, well, we had championship aspirations, but when you look at it, you know, going 49 in 19 if you are the softball team, and having the year that the Florida Gators baseball team did, especially when you consider that there were injuries, especially to Hunter Barco, the ace. I think you have to look at the season and go, you know what, it was pretty solid. Don't worry about that. It was pretty solid. I did want to spend a little bit of time though talking about just how impressive and remarkable and insane it is that the Florida Gators softball team was as dominant as they were away from home. Whether they were away or the neutral team were at a neutral site, it was insane. When the Florida Gators were at home, they went 24-11, which is a 68.6% win percentage. When they were away, as in when they were at another team's stadium, they were 18-6 with a 75% win percentage. When the Florida Gators played at a neutral site, they went 7-2, which is a 77.8% win percentage. So in games where they were away or at a neutral site, they won 25 and they lost 8 games. And so they had a win percentage of 75.7%, which is absolutely like nothing short of remarkable. Like, that is insane. I get it. 75.7 win percentage is not fantastic, but to do that on the road is fantastic. Like that is nothing short of incredibly impressive. And you know, whether you're looking at Florida Gators baseball, Florida Gators softball, all we know is that next year both of those teams are going straight. Thor, when he got rid of when he got rid of the hammer that's right behind me. Yeah, when he got rid of that, and he got Stormbreaker, the axe. That's what they're doing. Like they're getting that kind of culture change and that kind of attitude change, because one, they need it, but two, this is a Florida Gators stickball program that they want to win championships, and they do win championships, but it's been a little too long, so gotta go for the jug at this point. Gotta go for the head, as Thanos said. So that's what they're doing. I promise you, they're going straight for it. Thanks for making Locked On Gators your first listen of the day every day. We are available daily and free wherever you listen to podcasts. We'll be back tomorrow with more on your Florida Gators as we're getting back to football. Now make your second listen Locked On NBA Big Board podcast. Rafael Barlow, Richard Stamen, Sam Ferris, and Leaf Thulin give fans an in-depth look into the biggest prospects, including a Toledo guy, by the way. It's just so you know. The latest player rankings, and of course, big boards. For Locked On Gators, I'm Brandon Olson. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at WNS_Brandon. Don't forget to find my written work with Whole Nine Sports. That is WHOLENINE Sports, and Giants Country of SI.com. And I will see you all tomorrow.